Guys, what is going on? Welcome back to this week's episode of Warzone Weekly. Everything you need to know, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2 and the CDL. Myself and Mortem, so let's get into it. So we have the Season 2 Reloaded update this week, which, I'm not going to lie to you, is probably one of the most disappointing updates I've ever seen from this game. Like, there's a lot of words in this update and not a lot of information. So Al Mazrah, you have all of the modes. Actually, to be fair, both of them, Al Mazrah and on Ashika Island, you have solos through to quads, and they have also said that all squad sizes for Resurgence will be available through Season 2 Reloaded. So I'd be expecting to see those for what we've got left now, 25 days-ish, around that.
About another month-ish, yeah.
Yeah, so for the rest of the season, you will have all squad sizes available. So starting off with assault rifles. Assault rifles, the only gun that's been changed is the STB 556, adding a minimum damage against armor, limits bullets to kill at further ranges. Again, it's not going to change the usage of the gun.
No, I think the STB needs a lot more than that to make it anything usable. That gun is very underwhelming in so many ways.
That update will help it, but it's not going to be pushing anything out of the way, really. No. Then you've got LMGs. The RAL has had a nerf. Reduced far range damage, small increase to close range damage, reduced headshot damage, reduced upper torso damage, and increased recoil. So again, we don't know specific numbers on any of those. The RPK, reduced walking speed, reduced muzzle velocity. What are we doing?
It was never it was never a fast strafing gun anyway.
No.
And muzzle velocity is very different to bullet velocity.
Yep.
So again, I know this is in addition to previous RPK nerfs, but as you mentioned, didn't really change much. RPK is still pretty viable. It's not a bad gun by any means. So
yep.
I don't,
underwhelming is what I would describe that as. Completely underwhelming. Last LMG is the Sakin. All they've done is reduce damage range. So your damage you're doing will just be a slightly closer distance now rather than what it was before. And then we have your SMGs. So the MX9 increased mid-range damages. So increased mid-damage ranges. Pointless. MX9 is trash. The BAS-P increased sprint to fire time, increased damage ranges. Again, nobody needed it to be faster to fire. They needed it to do more damage. The PDSW, slightly offset weapon while ADS using iron sights to improve visibility. Apparently it was a good update. It was hard to see, and from what I've seen, is more visible now when using it. But I don't think there's many people using it really. The VEL increased close damage ranges, fixed attributes on 30-round magazine to improve handling and mobility. The Lachman sub, which is pretty much top tier at the moment, reduced movement speed, reduced aim down sight speed. So they've reduced the movement speed, making it slower to move with, but reduced ADS speed means it's now faster to ADS with, because there's now less time for you to ADS. Improved recoil control, so it's now has less recoil than before. And the Nebula barrel improved damage ranges and improved recoil control. So they've buffed the gun that was already on the top of the meta.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
honestly, it's beyond me. These updates are absolutely beyond me now. I don't understand.
I think the Lachman was, if you use the stockless mod and stuff like that, it's very speedy. So again, I've mentioned this and you've mentioned this not umpteen times in previous videos. We have no values anymore. So it's
nope.
What is reduced movement speed? Is it 0.1 meters per second? Is it a whole meter per second? Because that matters. If it's 0.1 meters per second, you're not going to notice it when you're flat out tack sprinting,
And then onto the shotguns, which is the most broken things of all. Reduced on the KV broadside, reduced lower torso damage. The 12 gauge ammo, reduced damage ranges and reduced close range damage. The Dragon's Breath ammo, reduced damage ranges, reduced close range damage, and global reduction to 12 gauge Dragon's Breath maximum residual damage. Hopefully everything they've done is enough just to stop it being used, because it was completely broken and should have been nerfed a long time ago, rather than going, oh yeah, we know about this, but we're going to fix it in 2 weeks with the mid-season update. We don't normally moan on this channel. We don't normally go with a negative approach. We're generally very positive, but this is so underwhelming that it's annoyed me, this update.
Yeah, I'd say I feel like in previous videos we've been quite positive and optimistic about the changes, and like, you know, you can see the direction, and you know, like they did the RPK nerfs, and we were like, oh, you know, don't think it's really enough, but it's like a step in the right direction to change the meta. And yeah, I think it's the first time that we've been genuinely like
actually negative about it.
What is going on? Like, what's going on with these? There seems to be no rhyme or reason to some of these.
No,
apart from the broadside. I mean, that was obviously busted, but we don't know if that's actually gonna drop it off the meta radar, as it were.
Nope, not a clue. And yeah, we will be more positive in the future again. And to be fair, there are some positive things in this. There are some positive things. So we will get to those. All right, so a few changes to the flinch mechanic. Reduced recentering speed for flinch. Minor increase to flinch on ARs, SMGs, LMGs and shotguns. And then you have the ammunition. So hollow point rounds, removed bullet velocity penalty. Frangible rounds, changed healing delay timer to set from last bullet's impact, lengthens the overall delay on a player. Removed damage ranges penalties for that also. Overpressure rounds, removed recoil penalty and increased flinch imparted on players. 12 gauge Dragon Breath, reduced residual damage while burning. 12 gauge slug rounds and HE slugs, added minimum damage against armor. So they've basically, apart from the Dragon's Breath rounds, they've basically buffed all your ammo types. Because the only thing that anybody was ever using was Dragon's Breath on the shotgun or Velocity. Velocity rounds are used on all of your main weapons and that's it, right? A few changes to your equipment. So your frag grenades, claymores and semtex all do now more damage against armor. So that splash damage range will now do more damage against your armor. It will do the same damage to your health, but more damage to your plates. Alright, so now on to some happier parts of this video. So we've gone through most of the rubbish. So then, inverted flash grenades. So you got all the text on your screen there, but let's sum it up. Basically, you get flashed at the moment, your screen, you literally get flashbanged, right? Like your screen will illuminate bright white and you actually get flashbanged. So what they're going to do now is you can change this setting and your screen will go black rather than white. So you don't get blinded, literally blinded from getting flashbanged over and over and over when you're playing Shipment. Because that's what happened to me the other day.
I was just saying, you text me and told me all about your fun time playing Shipment and being flashbanged every 3 seconds.
Literally, it is relentless. So I will definitely be putting that setting on. Another happy little user interface that they're changing. When you go to calling your kill streak in Warzone and it says airspace too crowded, like it does all of the time, it will actually now let you know how long for. It will say airspace too crowded for 10 seconds. So at least you're not sitting there with the binoculars in your hand like, can I use it now? Can I use it now? Can I use it now? Because that, again, very annoying. But again, that's another happy to see update on that. Unfortunately, that's going to be followed by an update that I'm not so pleased with, which is the auto looting of armor plates. As armor plates are a critical part of the gameplay loop, players will now automatically pick up armor plates as long as they have available inventory or backpack space. I think this is a shocking addition to the game. I actually think this could be one of the worst things that they could have possibly done.
You know, sometimes when we go through these updates and we look at them, and I usually ask you this question all the time, who asked for this?
Like, who asked to be the Henry Hoover of plates? Like, who's running around Al Mazrah hoovering up all the plates? I don't get it.
I've never seen a single tweet from anyone, not just like big streamers and that. I don't go on Call of Duty's Instagram and Twitter and see like someone saying, "Oh, please add auto looting plates so I can walk around with my Ava's accumulator from RuneScape and ping all the plates to my back." Like
do you
no one asked.
Do you want some level of auto looting? Yes. If I have no plates like on me, put them in that little plate section ready for me to use. Fine. Yeah. Fill that up. And maybe even say, okay, we will auto loot you one slot of your backpack. I'll be okay with that as well. If I kill somebody, run over to their body, they've got 9 plates on, right? 3 stacks. I have 2 inventory spaces. I run over their body. I now have no inventory space left, but they've got UAV. So I now have to open my backpack to tidy the backpack that they've just made me fill up to then loot what I want. Like, it seems like the most ridiculous system they could have put in place. I hope that gets reverted so quickly. I really do.
Also, how does this work if you walk past a, like, you know, sometimes there's like shelves in the game with
yeah, you pick them all up.
Yeah, is that just going to ping into my backpack when I stroll past it? Like, that's not
exactly that.
That's not what I want. I don't need help with that. I can just press my interact key like I always have been for the last 3 years. Like,
yeah,
that's a very weird.
I hope that gets changed quick. That's all I've got to say. All right, back to the positivity. Audio, something that everyone has had a whinge about for a very long time. At least 3 years now. So audio. Submix fixes that were affecting enemy footsteps volumes have apparently been fixed. Equalized sand footsteps to better cut through the mix, similar to dirt and concrete. Fixed an issue that caused war tracks to randomly stop playing. Again, no one cares about that. Fixed an issue preventing the war tracks of a patrol boat driver from being heard
while in the patrol boat turrets. That is a very niche thing, but sure.
So many things in this game that need to be addressed, right? Everyone knows it, they know it. So many things that need to be addressed. One person has said, I was in the patrol boat turret the other day and I couldn't hear my driver's music he had on. And Infinity Ward, like, get someone on that right now. This man needs to hear his tracks while he's gunning people. So then we have a audio setting specifically for PC. So PC users will have an audio update allowing players to select stereo or surround inputs. This option will default to stereo if not set. So if you do have that setting on anything particular, make sure you go back and change it because it will default back to stereo now. So just do keep an eye on that one. So DMZ is getting combat records. DMZ Combat Records will launch with Season 2 Reloaded, so they are out right now. But will not aggregate previous game history, complete 5 matches to unlock. So once again, all of these people have been grinding through DMZ. The same as in Warzone, don't get any recollection, no recognition for their previous efforts. And you have to play 5 matches to have it register anything anyway, as of today. So, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that they have combat records. But 1, they should have been there all along, and 2, sort yourself out. Last but not least is Modern Warfare 2 Ranked Mode. A ranked mode we are very excited about over here, and many people are at the moment. So all weapon tuning and the cast-off 7.6.2 are now fully restricted. You will not be allowed to use it or put any tuning on any weapon. Players should notice that the existing weapon tuning will revert to default options in-game. We recommend that you review your classes before your first match. I know that we haven't had any weapon tuning on our TAC 56 or Vaznevs or anything like that, and they shoot straight as an arrow. So you just don't need it.
This is the thing. Like, I remember when we first sort of got into ranked, and I was surprised. I remember saying to you that I was very surprised that tuning was in ranked because I thought it was already banned.
Yeah.
But I think there might have been a GA in the actual CDL. But I'm glad that, I mean, me and you said, well, what's the point of? I don't think we should tune these, because if they do ever revert it and get rid of it, then you'll be too used to how your gun feels with the tuning.
Yep.
And it's going to be bad. So it looks like that was a pretty wise decision for both of us, because
but
I think
the gun shoots so straight. You don't need to tune it. You just don't.
I think this is a correct call though.
Yeah.
I don't think tuning is competitive because there's too much variation.
Yeah.
And I think that if you put the same 5 attachments on the gun as another guy, they should both act the same.
Okay, guys, that is everything from us today. If you've stayed with us, thanks very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with a friend because it helps us out and we will appreciate it. But for now, that's it from us and we'll see you next time. Cheers.